Dustin Johnson. Paul McGinley questions ex-world number 1 joining Saudi League and says it could turn golf upside down. Paul McGinley. This will go down as a historic moment in the game. If this Saudi League does gather ahead of speed and challenge the two established tours on the world, considering the background and the whole idea of team events, it could turn golf upside down and on its head. Paul McGinley said Dustin Johnson's decision to play in the Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series event highlights its potential to turn golf upside down. Former world number 1 Johnson will headline the new competition's inaugural event at the Centurion Club from June 9-11, just 4 months after committing himself to the PGA. Sponsored link. Want a free 4-night trip to the Grand Canyon? Enter the Explore. Explore better. Recommended by. Johnson is the biggest name so far to announce he will take part and risk sanctions by the PGA, which has not granted members permission to play. Former Ryder Cup winning captain McGinley, who is on the board of the DP World Tour, believes relations between the two tours have never been better and that money can only be the motivation behind any player committing to the Live Series. Johnson makes U-turn to headline Saudi-backed event, Mickelson not listed. Fitzpatrick. Live Golf Series of no interest for now. McGinley told Sky Sports News, this will go down as a historic moment in the game. If this Saudi League does gather ahead of speed and does challenge the two established tours in the world, considering the background and the whole idea of team events, it could turn golf upside down and on its head. We'll have to see how it plays out. At this stage, Johnson's only one player, all the remaining top players in the world have stayed completely loyal to the PGA Tour. They feel they've got it good over there, and they have. Every week they're playing for a $10 minus 12 meters prize fund with a first prize of over $2 million. They're flying around in private jets every week and going home to their families every Sunday night. The idea of this Saudi line in time is to take it around the world more often in a Formula One style. It's a big change from what they've been doing. Johnson was the one surprise inclusion for next week's event, where he will compete alongside Louis Oosthuizen, Brandon Grace, Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia, Kevin Na and Martin Keimer. The winner will receive £3 million out of a total prize fund of £20 million. The 2020 Masters champion had been scheduled to play in the Canadian Open, which also starts next week. Johnson was a bit out of left field considering he had pledged his loyalty to the PGA Tour a mere 6 weeks ago, said McGinley. He is in the prime of his career. With due respect to the other guys, they're in the twilight of their careers. Here is a guy who is very much considered as being one of the favorites whenever a major championship comes around. It's a big leap for him, a brave leap, considering all of the other current top players in the world have remained loyal to the PGA Tour and DP World. In terms of floodgates, we just have to wait and see what happens and how this Saudi League is going to evolve, whether the players decide this is a better option than what they've had in the last 50-odd years. It's not like they're doing bad on those tours either. We've put the biggest prizes in the history of the European Tour on the table this year, and the PGA Tour has done something similar. These guys are making a lot of money. The opportunity to make a lot more money has obviously been appealing for them and why they're going where they. Lee accuses Johnson of pure greed. Sky Sports expert Rob Lee described Johnson's decision as pure greed and expects the PGA and DP World Tours to sanction the players who feature in next week's inaugural event. Before Johnson pledged his loyalty to the PGA Tour, he was one of the list of players that people thought might go and join the Saudi operation, Lee told Sky Sports News. Then he said, "No, I am all PGA Tour, I am all in." And now this is a surprise that he's double-turned again and said that he's got to go and feed his family, which by the way must take some feeding because he's $75 million richer for his career earnings and all the endorsements over the years. It's pure greed. It's only about the money, it's about nothing else. The work that these organizations, PGA Tour and DP World Tour, have had to do to get golf in such a healthy position that it's in now has been unbelievable. Be absolutely assured there will be a comeback from the tours. Fitzpatrick. Live Golf Series of no interest for now. Matt Fitzpatrick said his future remains with the PGA ahead of this week's Memorial Tournament, but he would have to re-evaluate if the LIV Series became the main tour. Tiger Woods made a great point at the PGA the other day in his press conference. He's there to create legacies and to win tournaments and to win majors, and that's definitely where I am, said Fitzpatrick. And it was interesting, it was kind of, I'll be honest, some tournaments where I am maybe not necessarily in it, and I can't win, then I do think, well, at least on the bright side I've made this much this week after the tournament's over. I came away from the USPGA and literally couldn't care less about how much I made that week. I was just gutted that I didn't win. I had a chance and I didn't take it, and that kind of said a lot to myself about myself. That's all I am bothered about out here. You want to have records. I want to win tournaments, and for me, that's why for now, the sort of live golf doesn't interest me. However, the Englishman did not completely rule out a move and admitted if the tour were to become the top attraction, he would have to reassess where he would compete. In 5 years, if all of a sudden that becomes the main tour, then obviously you sort of rethink your options, he said. But for now, I am out here wanting to make sure I am giving myself the best chance of winning tournaments, winning majors and going about my career like that, really.